Welcome to Drinking Bros, presented by GhostBed.com.
Are we rolling?
We are.
Have we been rolling the whole time?
Yes, ma'am.
Authorities are desperately searching for a killer accused of going on a rampage.
The search for a possible serial killer.
An urgent manhunt for a man authorities believe is behind a triple killing spree.
Police here speculating that a possible serial killer may have struck again.
I told her to get out of the car, and that's when she became afraid, and then I shot her.
Welcome, guys, to Jessie Wiseman's Crime Corner. So good.
That was a big one.
I know, but look, you're always good for the enthusiasm.
Yeah, hyping it up, dude.
Hyping it up. You're the hype man,
Yeah.
right?
Bring myself up to bring myself down.
Yeah, and then you're the hype man. Yeah, and then you very quickly are like, but wait,
Oh, fuck.
did someone dying? Right?
Yep.
Well, I think you kind of learned that from the way that we've been doing the show for quite a while now. Is anytime Joel's happy, we have to do something to make him
We
unhappy.
have to cyberbully him.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I guess I'll pour a drink. Now listen, this case brought to us by Coop is an insane, crazy ride that could only happen in the early 2000s. In this crazy pocket of time, chat rooms and unregulated. You know, we didn't know at that time that like if kids literally sat in a dark room watching, like playing video games and in chat rooms.
Going
that, like,
to ogrish.com and
like something would kind of happen to their brains. We didn't know that yet, right? So it was just a bunch of dark room teenagers in chat. It's a chat room, huh?
Yeah, which is something I still don't get. I used to use them quite a bit when the internet first came out until it's like you can only get so many dick pics before you kind of lose interest.
Right.
What?
Not me. But anyways.
Oh, I guess I'm the odd man out here.
AOL chat, dude, all day.
What was your...
Toe Jam 006.
Toe Jam 006. If you see anyone using that handle, it's not... They stole it from you.
Yeah, that's right. I don't use it anymore.
They're catfishing people as you.
Yes.
But anyways, this was a fun time for that kind of behavior. I think we did the Tall Hot Blonde from that time, right? We just didn't know what we didn't know, and it made things real fun and flirty.
Yeah, and this one even predates that a little bit more than Tall Hot Blonde.
Yeah.
But it's another one of those cases, like the case of the brothers. One of the brothers got abducted, and he was held for, 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's what kind of got kids a little bit more aware of not talking to strangers.
Right.
This is one of the cases that first made it known that you should be careful who you talk about or who you talk to online.
Right. So we overcorrected, right? Kept our kids inside. As long as I can see them, they can talk to whoever they want, right? If they're out on their bike, right, or I don't see them, don't talk to strangers, don't talk to anyone you don't know, come right home, right?
Yeah.
But then we were like, okay, put them in a dark room. I know where they're at. There's nothing bad that can happen
Nothing at all.
with video games and chat rooms. There just isn't.
There's
Perfectly
more
safe.
strangers inside the house now
Exactly.
than outside. Fuck.
The files are inside the computer.
Pedophiles are inside.
Yes.
the computer.
Yes. So this is a fun one. We could just jump right in. I think we'll all have some strong thoughts along the way.
Oh,
but
that's for sure.
shall we?
Let's do it.
We're going to call this Mark the Spy Kid, right?
Okay.
Mark. That's a strong name, huh? It's not like a Toe Jam 6000 or what's yours? Toe Jam?
Oh, Toe Jam 006.
Toe Jam 006.
Because 007
with
was
Sean
taken.
Bean?
Well, 007 was taken.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Mm-hmm. I wonder why.
I know.
Might find out from this case, actually.
So on June 29th, 2003, in Manchester, England, right?
What?
We're going to be doing a little bit of annoying accents. No, you can do a British, right? Or is it Jamaican?
I don't know. Is it?
I think it turns into a pirate.
Or a pirate.
Yeah,
Yes.
it pretty much always turns into a pirate.
It turns into pirates.
Yeah.
Okay. So in Manchester, England, across the Atlantic Sea. I've spent time. I lived in Leeds for a little while. Oh, I know. Quit bragging. I'm just saying because everyone else is like bragging about going to Paris and Italy.
Oh, yeah.
I've never.
That tattoo guy? Juan?
Yeah, he's like, every time I fly into Greece. What? Or Paris. Every time I fly into Paris, I'm like, you motherfucker.
At this point, my biggest flex is the fact that I don't leave the U.S. It's like, brag to me as much as you want about wherever you go. I don't fucking care. I'm home with my stuff.
Yeah, I'm home with my stuff. That is a flex, Coop. All right, damn it. I've already interrupted 5 times. Okay, myself. Across the Atlantic Sea, police officers were forced to cut their afternoon tea party short and respond to reports of a vicious attack at Tradford Centre. Once they had arrived at the shopping plaza, they found a 14-year-old boy named John that had been stabbed twice, once in the chest and once in the abdomen. Paramedics were called to the scene, and the young boy was rushed to the hospital in critical condition. While John was fighting for his life, police began questioning the only witness to the attack, John's 16-year-old friend, Mark. The two boys had been hanging out at the shopping center when the attack occurred, and Mark had witnessed everything.
Oh, shit.
Poor kids.
I know.
According to Mark, he and John had been walking in an alley behind a row of shops when a man in a black hooded sweatshirt, which also first time I realized that criminals in a black hoodie got started over in the UK.
Oh, yeah?
Long before Zimmerman. Man in a black hooded sweatshirt suddenly rushed at them and began stabbing John. The boys fought off the attacker, but at that point it was too late. John had already been stabbed. His account was already harrowing, but as police probed deeper into the story, he began to unveil a months-long tale of sex, lies, and deceit straight out of a spy thriller.
Oh, wow.
We started late, so we've been drinking a little bit before, so.
In late 2002, Mark was killing time in an online chat room when he began talking with a 16-year-old girl named Rachel.
As you do.
As you do.
That's what you're there for.
That's where I got my start on the internet, back in the AOL chat rooms, and even you guys remember the pre-AOL days?
No,
I think I revealed to you guys last time that I have never been in a chat room.
At all?
No.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I was a hippie, and then I'm older than you guys. Not you. Not you guys. Wait.
We're the same age.
I'm just so used to saying that I'm older than everybody.
I was just poorer than you. We couldn't afford a computer or anything.
No, I was that much of a hippie for a very long time. We didn't have a computer or anything for longer than you should.
At all?
Yeah.
Like, what year did you guys get a computer?
I think it was after I was already into other things, end of high school.
So that would have been
way past 16. I was way past 16. I was senior year, ready to go.
Oh, I got it before that.
So that's what,
I was 8th grade.
2006, 2007?
Yeah.
Roughly?
And it was a computer. My dad got a huge computer for work.
That's how my mom got a work computer.
Yeah.
Brought it home.
I couldn't use it. And when you're a hippie for that long with nothing, not even really that much TV, you don't really want to. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're just into the, peyote?
Like smoking weed.
Yeah, so at that point I got into drinking, smoking weed, acid. Acid was a way better trip than a fucking chat room, nerd. Okay? Come at me.
Come on, I did acid in junior high. Beat that.
And you still were let's be in a chat room?
Still a huge nerd. No, I got into chat rooms way before
Even
that.
acid couldn't bring you out of your nerd shit.
So in late 2002, Mark was killing time in an online chat room when he began talking with a 16-year-old girl named Rachel. She was on the cyber market looking for a cyber boyfriend, and Mark just happened to be a horny teenage boy. Lucky him.
Rachel. It's Mark.
Rachel. They began talking on a regular basis, and in October of that year, she introduced him to her stepbrother, the 14-year-old future stabbing victim, John.
Ooh.
And all of these names are aliases.
Yes, because they're minors.
Yeah.
Now, did they meet in real life at that point, or they're being introduced and having whole social lives on?
Entire social life completely online.
That's
from
fucking
everything that I
crazy.
heard, they're spending like, it started off at around like 6 to 8 hours online a day, and this is early 2000s, 6 to 8 hours online a day, and then that grew to about 12 hours a day online. Early 2000s also. Like, there's literally nothing to do on the internet in the early 2000s aside from look at porn and talk to creepy strangers.
You couldn't even look at porn. Like by porn,
Yeah,
you mean like a
wasn't-
still image that takes 35
Right.
minutes to download.
If you
To,
had 12 hours a day,
slowly
that's,
download. Yeah.
that's at least like what, 24 images per day? You can make that work.
You must have had some fast internet.
Well, part of the there had to be somebody that their kink was like waiting for the whole picture.
I've been
to,
waiting.
Holy shit, it's a
yeah.
digital strip show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The waiting is part of it.
Yeah, it would,
The
it
slower
would
the
freeze right
internet-
before the titty on me every time. Like, it's almost there.
Yeah.
And it just never would continue loading.
Yeah.
That was the birth of edging.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
"No, I just got to keep it right here.
Like, do you have a super slow computer?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, fuck yeah. The slower the better.
No, tell me slower.
Yeah, how slow
how many
is it?
kilobytes per second do you get here?
Is it pixelated?
Weird.
So weird.
The virtual relationship between Mark and Rachel eventually grew stale, but his friendship with John blossomed. The two boys would spend hours talking online daily and soon became practically inseparable.
Online.
Online,
Let's be clear.
Yeah,
Okay.
which it's a real relationship, all right?
I know.
After a couple months, they decided it was time to take their friendship offline and meet in the real world. And there's no time that's
First
ever gone
rule of chat rooms. Don't meet in real life.
It has never gone bad.
No.
You guys have never done that?
Well, I don't need
meet
to.
someone you met online and then meet him in person for the first time after you knew him online?
Nope.
We met on anyway.
You guys met.
I technically met my wife through the internet, but not in a chat room.
I think now, if I was dating now,
Yeah.
that would probably 100% have to be the way that it went.
But the old AOL chat rooms, though, those are the ones you shouldn't meet the people.
They were fuck rooms.
They were fuck rooms.
Yeah.
There were rooms of nothing but pedophilia.
Yeah.
Are they actually, though?
Pretty much.
Oh yeah,
Fuck.
dude, for sure.
That's what
because
we're going to
even
learn?
No.
Oh, okay, good.
No.
my first experiences that I had on the internet were like older men specifically sending. This was pre-memes. This is like early 90s, probably 93, 94 at most. And
What are you about to say?
I know.
I'm scared right now.
You would get old men doing what? Coop. Come on.
I was trying to tell a romantic story about how I lost my virginity.
I know.
Weird.
I know. It's just the download speed is.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful. It just
No, but were they sending you memes or dick pics?
no, you couldn't send pictures back then, so it was all
Okay.
just like vulgar jokes and
From old men
romantic
to you.
stuff.
Romantic stuff. Okay.
So it's like a B and like 5 equal signs and a capital D.
No,
That's how you make a penis.
ASCII art hasn't gotten that advanced at that point, so it was primarily just, like acronyms and things like that.
Okay.
HBID, how big is your dick? Age, sex,
From the old
location.
man to you?
ASL. Well,
Coop.
both ways.
Coop.
It's a two-way street.
Jesus Christ.
Coop. By early 2003, Coop was in a full-on relationship with a 70-year-old man. No. By early 2003, John and Mark began meeting up in real life and continued their friendship in the analog world. The two boys hung out on a regular basis and even began to form relationships with each other's families. It seemed as though the boys would be lifelong friends. All that came crashing down on June 28th when John was attacked in the alley behind Tradford Centre.
Uh-oh.
While they waited for John to recover from his injuries, police began searching for additional witnesses. Tradford Centre was a crowded public area, but the attack had happened in an alleyway with very little foot traffic. Some shoppers reported seeing the two boys on the day of the attack, but nobody had witnessed the attack itself.
That's another sign of like when this actually happened, because meeting up with somebody that you met online and following. So at this point, they
had
actually
already hung out
Yeah,
and
they'd been
stuff. Yeah,
friends
yeah.
for a handful of months. But even at that point, like meeting somebody online this early on in the internet, now we know that you have to vet people a little bit longer before you meet them in person. But right away, both of their families were like, "Oh yeah, go meet this stranger that you met online and have fun."
The early aughts, right?
The early aughts, dude. The earlier days of the internet, to me, were even crazier because the reason that my family had the internet when I was growing up is because my mom was pressing for it. One of the first things that she did, which she wasn't unfaithful, but one of the first things that, according to her,
sober,
both according to her,
yes,
she made a friend on what was it called, like IMS or something like that. I think.
I don't know anything before AOL.
Yeah,
I didn't even know there was chat rooms before AOL.
Oh yeah, that's where all the good shit happened back in the day.
sounds like it.
The Wild West of chat rooms.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Jesus.
met some random dude online that was a cyclist from Nova Scotia.
I bet he
something
really
like that.
was.
And he spent. No, we found out. No, he spent 3 months traveling from Canada, riding his bike all the way out to Oregon to sleep in a tent in our yard.
Holy shit!
Your mom allowed this?
My dad allowed this. That was the question that I've got in my mind.
Yeah.
But yeah, he slept in a tent in the yard for a couple days and then continued on his journey out to the coast.
So
Did you spend any time in the tent, Coop?
And
Do you know what the inside of the tent looked like, Coop?
How
Where'd we
old were
leave
you
off?
at the time?
How old were you? No, seriously. If you didn't, you didn't. But how old were you?
well, now if I didn't, I don't want to say. No, I
I'm
was
just
like
saying, like
8 or
we
9
could,
years old.
We could
something
do
like
some
that.
like memory recovery with you, and just be like, have you describe like the inside of the
Yeah.
tent?
What are the
Roughly 8 or 9 years old. The tent was too small for 2 people, so everything happened
How'd
outside
you know
of the
that?
tent.
How'd you know? How do you know that? Do you know what I mean?
Well, because
don't
we
like
both
this. I don't like
we
where it's
both
going.
couldn't fit.
Yeah.
It's like
Anyways,
playing-
anyways.
it's like-
And he couldn't
like
fit
trying
either?
to play Twister in a phone booth.
Yeah, you try it.
Yeah,
Could he fit though, Coop? You know what I mean?
Joel,
eventually.
Sorry, moving on.
you're the one that went too far.
Yeah, I forgot he was 8 at the time.
Yeah.
The answer
My
is
bad.
eventually.
Got you.
Cut those parts.
I actually got a photo of Coop in the tent here.
For our listeners, it's Burgle Cut from Willow, our favorite villain, when the bird poops on him.
Yeah.
Oh, how pissed he gets. Ow!
Yeah.
Does that bring back memories?
Off good. Yeah.
If that bird was from Northeast Canada, then yes.
Then yes. What a weird ass story, dude.
Yeah, that was. That's crazy.
Like if my mom, if my mom did that, yeah, because she was just like a hippie, whoever. I like their vibe.
Did he come in for dinner?
Or just
I don't know, he
Or did he
hung
just
out at
stay
the
in
house
the
for like a
tent?
week.
So he was like part of the family for a week?
Southeast Oregon family, yes.
Sweet.
We have different relationships with
But he slept
relatives.
outside in the tent every night?
Yeah.
That sounds awesome.
and weird.
Yeah, super weird.
Weird as fuck, right?
Yeah. Because there's
Super
like
weird.
many amazing campgrounds and places that he could like. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. See the sights and
Well,
if
he
he's
thought he was
cycling.
going to get laid.
Apparently.
And then he showed up and was like, oh, shit.
I don't know what he really wanted from that trip, but he didn't get it. Do you know what I mean? If you're
Right.
saying he didn't get it, he didn't get it. He didn't come out there to just sleep in the
I mean, looking back as an adult, for sure.
Yeah.
boy. Parents are just people. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. We all
That's
got
what you learn.
Yeah.
when you grow
Mama's
up.
got to get hers.
But they're just people. They don't fucking know what to do. You know? They're figuring it out just like we are.
So the virtual relationship between Mark and Rachel eventually grew stale, but his friendship with John blossomed.
luckily,
We already got past that part.
We ended with there was no other witnesses to the attack itself.
Oh shit, my bad.
It's our fault for starting.
It's okay. You're going through some trauma memory stuff right now.
Yeah, like you were recovering some weird tent stuff right now.
I'm fine. All right.
Okay.
I'm fine.
No. But it's okay. When you're in, I'm gonna do the Goodwill Hunting. It's not your fault at the end of the show.
Don't do that.
It's not
But
your
he's-
fault. It's not.
Don't.
It's not your fault.
He's becoming
It's
a pirate.
not your fault.
Luckily, even in 2003, England was a nanny state with thousands of government-owned baby monitors installed on every street corner.
Yep.
One of the cameras had been pointed at the entrance to the alley where the attack had taken place, and upon reviewing the footage, police were able to identify the attacker. Unfortunately, the identity of this suspect only made the case more confusing. The footage from the security camera did not capture the attack itself. What it did catch was two boys walking into the alley together. Oddly, at the time of the attack, they were the only two people in the area. Nobody had followed them into the alley, and that meant the only person who would have been able to carry out the attack was Mark himself.
Dun, dun, dun.
With this new evidence, police question Mark once again.
Shit.
During the second round of questioning, Mark finally told the full story. Buckle up. The information he provided was so fantastical, the police had a hard time believing it. And he was 16. But anyway, Mark admitted to stabbing his friend with the intent to kill, but he was doing it for Queen and country. His attack on John had been a state-sanctioned mission given to him by the British Secret Service. Can you believe?
What the?
And now, wouldn't that be the person that you would have do it?
Yeah.
16-year-old in a chat room.
He said that.
What? It's not just said it.
No, he wasn't
really
saying
happened.
He was actually.
So according
that's,
to Mark,
that's what he was doing.
Wait, what?
okay, so that's why I said buckle up. You're gonna have to put on the buckle, and you can unbuckle certain times. But so according to Mark, in January of 2003, he had been approached online by a woman who called herself Janet. Janet was a 44-year-old woman working as a spy for the British Secret Service. Her role at the agency had her working deep undercover in a dumb shit chat room. Anyways, deep undercover as a married housewife while she rooted out enemies of the crown. She was on a mission to protect the crown and was in search of a few good men. Mark was exactly the type of man she needed to help her save the country. Imagine, though, this is what I'm saying. Imagine in the early 2000s when we let the kids, their only reality is not reality, right? They're in the dark room, on the chat rooms. That's where they're learning everything in a formidable time.
Yeah.
And someone comes to you and says that.
Oh, I wish that happened to me.
Would you have?
So much fun. I would have.
Would you have believed it?
Oh yeah.
Full
Do you know
blown.
what I mean?
Oh yeah.
I mean, it would have been cool as
Full
fuck.
on.
Yeah.
At that time,
'Cause it'd be so
full
exciting.
on. You're like, what if? Like the whole time, you're like, what if?
I was a perfect target too with 006 in my name.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Yeah.
He likes spies, but he's not quite. He didn't get it quite quick enough to get the 007. So
He's
maybe
also
we
the
can get
one
him
that's
for-
willing to die during a mission.
Yeah.
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 I'm jealous.
I know.
As of right now, I'm
I
jealous
know.
of this kid getting to kill someone
I know. Like for that time,
and believing
thinking,
it was for the good
yes.
reason.
Like for the time that leading up to it, how fucking exciting for him.
Oh, he must have been,
Juicing off the whole time.
Yeah, stoked
Yeah.
as fuck.
Well, John and Mark.
While John and Mark continued their public friendship, Janet was secretly feeding Mark information to prepare him for his mission. Things were going well, but according to Janet, Mark was still an untested asset, which is realistically, if you're going to recruit a 16-year-old kid off the internet, you got to put him through the ringer a little bit.
You gotta
before.
see if they could fucking handle it,
Yeah.
dude.
Oh my God, it's Jason Bourne.
It's Mark.
For him to earn his place as the next James Bond, he would need to carry out a few test missions to prove his worthiness. Unfortunately for John, he was going to be used as a pawn in the process. So Mark was the one being vetted, and
Yes.
for some reason Janet was looping John into this whole situation.
Seeing that probably they talk all the time or, converse.
And well, it actually turned out that John had a larger part to play in this whole thing than anybody ever realized. Because according to later information that was given out by Janet, John actually happened to have the only code to a very, very special vault that was kept underneath the Atlantic Ocean. He had the only access code, so he was the one that had to be protected.
What the fuck is going on here?
I laugh because I mean, John's recovering is why I laugh, right? So they're waiting to talk to John this whole time.
Yeah.
As they're like getting this information from Mark.
And this is what he's saying to them.
This is what he's saying.
That was the information he was given.
Crazy.
The test mission started out fairly simple. First, he would have to prove that he had the baseline skills every good spy needed. His first mission was to test out his subterfuge skills. Janet informed him that a terrorist attack was going to be carried out at John's school, and Mark had to save him by getting him out of class.
Oh.
She didn't bother explaining how or why a terrorist organization would be targeting a high school in Manchester.
She doesn't need
no
to.
time.
She doesn't need to.
Lives were at stake.
That's information, classified information. He doesn't need
It's
at
above his pay grade.
Yeah.
G14 classified.
Yeah, at this point. He hasn't been cleared or vetted. There was no time, lives were at stake. She couldn't explain that. So using all of the skills he learned from watching countless hours of spy movies, Mark called the school and posed as John's father. He informed the school staff that John had a dentist appointment. Good one, Mark.
Nice.
First test passed.
Nailed it.
And had to leave immediately. Sounds like an emergency dentist appointment, right?
This root canal cannot wait.
Now. His performance was convincing enough to get John out of school and back to safety. What I know from doing the same is they don't care. As long as you have a signature and it's your parent, they don't give a fuck. Fine, go. Mark's first mission was a success. Thankfully, the terror attack was thwarted by other agents working on the case with Mark.
Nice.
Saving John's classmates from a grisly death. Good job, Mark. Success.
That would have been 9/11 too, right there.
Oh yeah.
This is awesome. This could be a great movie already.
Right?
But the twist at the end is that it's actually all true.
Yeah. Having proven himself worthy of additional responsibility, Janet gave Mark the code name 47695. Rolls off the tongue.
I spent literally the entire drive over today. I was just trying to figure out, like, okay, is it like an alphanumeric code that spells out to something, or do you have to write it out on a phone?
Did you
make sense?
See if it made any words?
It doesn't.
Oh,
it doesn't. You looked.
Yeah.
Okay.
My man.
You could have done what Mark's doing. Okay. I just want to let you know that you could have done this easy.
It does start off with the D. So I thought that it was going to be something good, but no, it's just random numbers.
All right.
47695.
47695.
Mm-hmm.
Agent 476.
Agent Mark.
Agent 8675309.
Yes.
We call her Jenny.
And so Mark gave the code name 47695 and began giving him more information about the government assets he would have at his disposal. In return for his service, he would be given a prestigious position at MI6, along with $80,000 of the monopoly money they use as currency in the UK. It's so true.
Boom.
It just looks like, I mean, what's a pence? I mean, I don't fucking know.
It's made out of plastic.
I was just like, I'm sure I just overpaid like people, or maybe underpaid, and they were like, okay, fine.
Nobody cares. Same thing in Monopoly. You don't give a shit how much money you give away.
Yeah.
You just want to get out of the game.
It doesn't feel real when I tell you, like, British, money.
I've never held it.
It doesn't feel real. You just go, go ahead. Along with $80,000 of the monopoly money they use as currency in the UK, his payment would be given to him by none other than Tony Blair. A member Tony Blair? Pimp-ass Tony Blair, the prime minister at the time. Best of all, Janet promised to cheat on her husband and give Mark a sloppy BJ if he completed his missions successfully.
Fuck the money I'm in.
He was like a real-life James Bond.
Like 15 to 16 years old, some 44-year-old lady from MI5, not MI6, which isn't as good, but still cool.
Head of the spies, Janet.
And she's like, oh yeah, totally. I'll totally cheat on my husband and blow my cover, and I'll blow you at the same time.
I would believe all this, to be honest.
At that age?
Yeah.
Like, all of us, not me, because I wasn't online.
Yeah.
But I don't know if we can judge too harshly. And also, we don't know if it was real. Anyways, it would turn out that Mark's first mission was part of a larger plot. Although he didn't have high enough clearance to get all the details, Janet assured Mark that John was an important piece of a bigger puzzle. It would be Mark's duty to act as his handler, bodyguard, and should the need arise, his lover. It turned out that the lover part was really important to the mission.
Very, very important to the mission.
Lover with the target?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it seems like MI5 doesn't have the same rules as like bodyguards in America.
But listen, we don't
rule
know.
Number one, don't fall in love.
We don't know because we don't have clearance. Huh?
Yeah, we don't have clearance.
We don't have
but
clearance because it could be.
Yeah.
It's protect the target and fuck the target.
I guess
Yeah.
out there, yeah.
It's part of the job.
Fucking Brits.
They're fucking great, right? They know how to
That's why
party.
we fought a war over this. Next task given to Mark by Janet was more difficult than the first. The terrorist cell that MI5 was trying to thwart was notoriously homophobic, meaning they wouldn't go anywhere near anyone that was lighting the loafers. Another attack on John's life was imminent, and the only way the Prime Minister could ensure John's safety was to convince the terrorists that John was gay.
Oh my god.
Mark,
Why? Okay.
What's going on?
well, because
here?
terrorists are homophobic. We've
Okay.
already
Okay.
figured that out.
So if we convince the terrorists that John's gay, right?
They're not going to go anywhere
We're near him. Okay.
Well, it's like with the countries that we were dealing with terrorism at the time,
They were intensely homophobic.
fairly homophobic.
Mm-hmm.
And same thing with like bacon or any pork products. They didn't want to go anywhere near those. So same thing with homosexuals.
Okay.
Didn't want to go anywhere near it.
Okay, gotcha.
It was the only way they could do this, or else the terrorists would win.
I know. I get it now. I'm sorry.
So what they had to do
Uh-huh.
was they had to get Mark
Act gay.
to suck John's dick.
Oh.
So that they thought he was gay. Okay,
So that he thought he was
okay,
gay.
Okay. I get it.
You take bullets for your country, all right?
Joel's falling off the train a little bit.
Yeah, the fuck?
We're gonna have to get it back on track.
So most people would call bullshit if a stranger on the internet tried to convince them to perform fellatio on their best friend. Not this guy. He was selected to be an agent for MI5 because he was a patriot.
Yes.
And as a patriot, he was willing to take more than a bullet for his country.
Take a D.
Mark dutifully put on his best cutoff shorts, smeared on some lip gloss, and proceeded to to blow John like the Santa Ana winds. His second mission was yet another success.
Okay, that's as far as I would have got. Because I would have never sucked a dude's dick for a mission. Even if it was for, like, the president.
But what if you've gone
I would
that
kill
far?
for it.
What
Well,
if
because
you've
you're
gone
not a
that far?
patient.
You've
Never.
done missions
No.
already, and you've gotten like success. Okay, good.
Never sexual.
I know.
But I would kill a shit ton of people.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the only hitch. I think, yeah, you're right. That's where Joel falls off. I think
That's
that's
where
where
I'm
a
out.
lot of us go,
That's as far as I would have gone.
where we go, oh, bud.
That's why I joined the military and Joel didn't.
Yep.
Before
One
Mark,
of you is a patriot.
I guess I'm not a patriot.
Yep.
Cocksucker.
before Mark had the chance to wash the taste out of his mouth, he was called back to duty. So stop loss.
He did it. He sucked the cock. Sorry.
Tony Blair specifically
Yes,
told him to.
asked him to do it.
Okay, I know.
It's for Queen and Country.
Joel, I don't understand what you're not getting. Okay, go.
This kid's gay.
Joel.
Sorry.
You're telling me
Go
if,
on the ride.
if
Go on the journey.
Congress specifically called you to action, said Joel,
You're
we
going
need
to
you
be
to do
eating your
this.
words when you find out this is fucking real. Okay? So go on the... You don't know. We don't know what MI5 is fucking doing, dude.
Now that he sucked dick.
You're going on the journey.
He'd
Let's
suck
go.
dick whether it's real or not.
So you're telling me
Exactly
you wouldn't do the same thing for the
No, he
president?
wouldn't.
Not
Oh.
suck a dick.
For the country?
No.
It's different out here, right?
Not for me.
Like if you're into the queen, you're into the queen, right? Forever.
Hey, I'll
Into the monarchy.
I will be a queen for my country because I am a goddamn patriot.
Teed you up, you fucker. Go.
You're a gay patriot. Which is fine.
Gaytriot.
Gay
Thank you very much.
Patriot Games. Good movie.
So Tony Blair, the Prime Minister, had contacted Janet with terrible news. Their last mission was a complete failure.
Oh.
The terrorists were aware that Mark had let John hose down his tonsils with baby batter, but they weren't convinced that John was gay. It takes work.
That is a child you're talking
Here's
about.
what I want to do, though. Thank you. Here's what I want to do.
14-year-olds fought in World War II.
You would usually give me that shit, those lines. So thank you.
I picked that one out specifically.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. I see that it said J crossed out. Yeah, okay, go ahead.
It could have just been a one-time thing. To fully sell the ruse, Mark would have to go back in for another round.
Didn't complete the mission.
No,
Okay.
this time, the Prime Minister wanted him to cup the balls and really work the shaft.
Sure.
Yep.
Without
Stallone
hesitation.
style. Yeah.
Mark threw on his San Francisco slippers and went right back in the trenches.
This guy, when I
God
tell you,
bless him.
he should have been literally hired after this. But anyway. The second blowjob was finally enough for Mark to fully earn the trust of MI5 and the Prime Minister. He had passed all of his tests and was finally ready for some real espionage. He was to carry out an assassination. In a text conversation in June of 2003, Janet and Mark traded the following messages.
Oh, shit.
I'll be Janet. You'll be...
I'll take Mark.
And are you going to do an accent? Because I am.
Pirate.
All right.
You're going to do pirate, right?
Yeah, I'll do my best.
All right.
What?
All right. Can you stab someone?
Yar, I haven't really thought about it.
Well, think, please.
Okay. That's all it took.
Pirate.
That's the whole thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't it,
There was
you can't really push back too much. You got to, I don't know. Think about it. Okay. Right?
In that line of work, you get your orders
gotta-
and you do your job.
Yeah, because we'll just move on to the next Patriot.
Yeah.
Mark eventually told Janet that he was willing to carry out a killing for MI5. That's when Janet gave him his next mission. John had valuable government secrets that the terrorists were trying to get their hands on. There was no way the agency could ensure that John didn't fall into the hands of the terrorist. So the only way to be certain that they never obtained the information was to kill John. And Mark needs to kill
He
John.
has to kill.
Right. He's already blown him. Now he needs to kill him.
You have to take it to the next level at that point.
Right.
And I mean, really, what person who loves their country isn't going to do the same thing?
It's true.
In my opinion. So Mark was ordered to take John to a local shopping center, go into an alley where there was no security camera coverage, and once there, he was to stab John to death. And they could leave the blowjob out of the picture at that point.
So
Janet
no
assured-
blowjob at this meeting.
Not this time.
Okay.
It wasn't working. They had to go lethal.
They couldn't.
Less than
they
lethal
didn't
didn't
believe. They didn't believe him, right? They didn't believe the blowjob was real or what. I don't know what happened.
You hit somebody with a handful of beanbag rounds, you got to go to lethal.
Yep.
Beanbag didn't work. They were going to kill him. Mm-hmm. Janet assured Mark that that she would be there to explain the situation to the police, so Mark wouldn't get arrested. And according to their conversations, what she was saying is she was going to be there disguised as a police detective, and she would divert all the attention away from him so he could get out.
Okay.
Then she was going to take the 15-year-old super spy to a hotel for the full-blown James Bond treatment.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was all Mark needed to hear. He once again accepted his mission. So on June 29th, 2003, Mark and John went to Trafford Center where Mark purchased a large kitchen knife. During the trip, bought a big-ass knife, but Mark assured John that the knife was a gift for his mother before asking John to accompany him into a dark alley. Nothing weird there.
Dumber than dumb on dumb.
Nothing.
Losery dumbness.
Once in the alley, Mark stabbed John twice, once in the stomach and once in the chest. Then waited nearly half an hour for Janet to arrive, but no backup was coming. Mark finally had second thoughts and called the police to report the crime.
So he was the one that called.
Damn.
Yeah.
I think that helped too.
Did he die?
He's recovering still.
Oh, that's right. He's recovering.
So we're not
We'll find out in a minute.
sure. With the person behind John's stabbing in custody, police now turn their attention on Janet, the mystery woman that orchestrated the attack. In order to help them uncover her identity, investigators took Mark's computer and began collecting data from the text conversations, which they hoped would give them the information they needed. The messages revealed more than the police expected. In the months leading up to the attack, Mark had been having conversations with multiple different people online. From the messages, they learned that Mark's spy adventure with Janet wasn't the only drama he had been involved in.
Oh.
As you do. My idea of chat rooms is just, I think, more insane than it actually was. But yeah.
This seems pretty insane from my experience.
Can I ask really quick, what would you guys do and talk about on in chat rooms?
It was just shooting the shit about.
Literally
I was on there like I would wait till my mom went to sleep and I'd sneak onto her computer and go in the chats for like 4 hours a night.
And at that time, we're not
creepy ever
gaming
happened.
with people, right? So like now it's like you're playing a game with
It's
people
just like how
and
texts
chatting.
are.
So
Like
you're
imagine a group text with like 30 people or
that
10.
you don't know.
I think it was 10 people a chat back then.
Did you personally know
No,
any of them?
But the rooms are all numbered, so you can go back to the same one every night, and you develop the same people go to the same chats, and you start becoming friends.
Do they have any themes? Like, is it a chat room that like for people that like?
Yeah, some of them do. They all have different names.
Okay.
But when I was doing it, they all just were numbered.
Okay.
And I was like, I'm going to chat room 69.
Okay. There we go.
Yeah.
And well, back when I was on the message boards, it was on IRC, Internet Relay Chat, like super early message boards. Back then it was like every single room was started up by somebody.
Okay.
And then some people would keep them going for a long time, so they'd develop a reputation and people would go there for...
Is there like an admin, like a Facebook kind of, or that's just the person that created it?
No, that's pretty much how it started out, is people would kind of band together and form these chat rooms that would stick around for a long time. You could either have the public chat with all
there's
the other
public
people that
ones
are in the
that were
room.
no admins.
Okay.
Or you could go off to the side where you have a private chat.
Got it.
And that's where the real magic happened.
As it always does.
Yeah, I had a good time.
Okay.
Nothing ever weird happened for me. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
As far as I could tell.
best time I've ever had being molested.
Yes.
It was awesome, being, working for the government.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like this
And
guy. Jesus.
And Mark's real name is Joel.
James Bond.
Yeah.
And I'm John. Shit.
Oh.
This is how
listen.
we met.
I know. This is a love story of you guys.
Why'd you let me stab you then?
For Queen and Country. I'm a patriot. We already made that clear. Shortly before meeting Janet, Mart had been part of a dramatic love triangle that resulted in his internet girlfriend Rachel being kidnapped by a boy named Kevin. And if you recall, Rachel is John's stepsister.
Stepsister, yes.
Yeah.
Rachel.
After meeting Mark and Rachel, after Mark and Rachel began their online relationship, Kevin arrived in the chat room claiming to have kidnapped Rachel. And in private, he sent messages to Mark saying that he was going to rape and kill her unless Mark paid a ransom.
What the?
Oh.
Now, do you want to guess what the ransom might be?
What?
Purely digital. Well, the ransom Kevin requested was a video of Mark masturbating.
Oh.
Allegedly,
That's the ransom.
Allegedly for Kevin to use as blackmail material if need be. So Mark was getting into the espionage game way before he met Janet. As we have already learned, Mark is not the type to back down when duty calls, so he bravely beat his meat and recorded it on a webcam and then sent the resulting footage to Kevin. Rachel was finally freed from captivity and safely returned home. It was this heroic act that first earned the respect of Rachel's stepbrother, John. And then Mark and John became friends soon afterwards. I mean, Joel, if you beat off on camera for my sister, I'd be friends with you.
I would if she asked.
The perfect name for Mark is Mark.
Right?
What a mark.
Yeah.
He will do fucking anything. When police looked at the data from the chat room, they found something interesting. The account owned by Kevin, the kidnapper, had the same IP address as Janet, the spy. Both Kevin and Janet had used the same computer. Police dug a little deeper and were able to successfully pinpoint the location of the computer used to send the messages. They had been sent from the family computer in John's home. Whoever orchestrated the attack was living with John. Around 1 week after the attack, John had recovered from his wounds enough to be questioned by police. Here we go. Nobody dies. You're welcome. Come on the journey. Come on the journey, Joel. You can take the ride.
No one's died yet.
Okay, there you go. Around 1 week after the attack, John had recovered from his wounds enough to be questioned by police. From his hospital bed, John confirmed that it had in fact been Mark that had stabbed him, but he wasn't sure why. As far as he knew, Mark was a friendly guy that occasionally insisted on sucking his dick. As you do. Investigators then informed him of the messages being sent from his home and asked if his stepsister Rachel might have had anything to do with the attack. They were surprised to learn that John didn't have a stepsister.
Once Rachel's existence was revealed to be a lie, the rest of the house of cards began to collapse. John didn't have a sister named Rachel. Nobody had been kidnapped, and the kidnapper named Kevin wasn't real. When detectives pressed further, they were shocked to learn that Janet the spy wasn't real either. The person behind the keyboard had been John himself all along.
I knew it after the second blowjob.
You would think that Mark would have realized after the second blowjob also.
To have Mark kill him?
Yeah, I was like, oh, he's young. I mean, I would do that.
And he wants to die?
Like, he's like, yeah, I'm going to have my friend suck my cock, and now I feel guilty. I'm going to have him kill me. I want out of here.
See, that's why I don't look at my messages on Instagram anymore.
I was going to say it. On the second blowjob, I almost said it, but I was like, wait, I'm going to wait and see, because that was my guess. Maybe I'm wrong.
Well, we'll find out right now.
Well, you're right. How about you're right? Let's get into the specifics.
John finally confessed and admitted that he had been manipulating Mark the entire time.
God damn.
He had initially posed as 16-year-old Rachel in order to catfish the other teen boy online. When Mark showed...
For the jerk-off video, right?
Yes.
That was part of it. Yeah, he was just kind of...
That wasn't enough.
He has a pattern.
He needed that blow.
You saw the pattern. You know he should be a fucking, undercover agent.
Yeah,
this guy.
An FBI profiler.
I mean, listen. He was like, I see a pattern.
Hang on.
Gay stuff.
It's the third time you've asked me to suck your dick. Something's up here. This ain't right.
Different people that kind of know you. Yeah. I'm on to you. I'll do it.
Fool me thrice.
I'm on to you.
Shame on you, but let's get this over with.
Yeah. Pull him down.
When Mark showed interest in meeting Rachel in real life, John had fabricated the kidnapping story in order to prevent Mark from finding out that Rachel wasn't real. That's why Joel's never met my sister.
Yeah. Wait. This is your guys' story.
Why do you think I'm using pseudonyms?
And you made this, being like, oh, my sister made
this bracelet.
Juice bracelet.
Yeah, that's why the person that stabbed me didn't get one.
Yep.
And I'd do it again if I could.
John had used Rachel as a way to have a homosexual relationship with Mark. Once he and John became friends, he was no longer able to use the Rachel and Kevin characters to manipulate Mark. As a result, he came up with the idea of Janet the spy. I like how progressive he is.
Yeah.
That, like, it's a woman.
It's a woman,
Yeah. But that's very James Bond, right?
It was
like a woman orchestrating all of it, right? In James Bond?
Yeah, she's kind of the moneypenny character in the situation.
With the help of Janet and Prime Minister Tony Blair, John would be able to get his rocks off and be seen as a hero while he was at it.
So personally, I think that Tony Blair is actually the only person that actually was involved in the situation.
Yeah, I think he had a part in it.
Yeah.
That little fucking
He got
devil.
catfish too.
Yeah. John's struggle with his sexuality had resulted in a major case of depression. He knew eventually his lie would be discovered and he would lose his fake international spy boyfriend. It was this that led him to make the decision to end his life. He couldn't do it himself, though, so he used his Janet persona to convince Mark to end his life for him. John catfished a guy into killing him, which is insane.
That is crazy.
And badass and weird and fucked up and interesting.
It's hard to put it in one single category.
Yes.
Because I don't think anything else like this has ever happened.
Police, prosecutors, or solicitors or whatever they call them over there, did not know what the fuck to do with this. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like,
so
what's the crime? The crime,
yeah,
and who gets charged, right?
Okay. Well, the crime is just everybody's horrible views on homosexuality. If John could have been open from the beginning.
All right, pride flag. Listen. So.
Oh wait, shit! It's not June. Never mind.
We don't.
No, I'll tell you who was wrong in this situation. Yeah. Fucking everybody.
Yeah. But it's again, you're wanting someone to kill you.
And they're both underage.
And you're tricking him into doing it. Now, this person went along with it, right?
Yeah.
But the circumstances being what they are, they didn't know what to do with it. But I'm sure you'll tell us, right?
What I've been picking up from this case, there's, we talked about it at the beginning of the show. There's not a whole lot of public information left about this case.
Because they're minors, and I think, I don't know if they still are. I think their names could be revealed now, but at the time, they were.
Yeah.
So it was all aliases and all of this. So we're just going with.
Yeah, at this point, the only reason we don't have the names is because people lost interest.
Yeah.
But really, in that situation, both of them had to have been aware of what's going on. After the second blowjob,
I don't think so.
Mark claims not to. Well, should we get,
I would claim not to also, but after the second blowjob, be like, okay, what's my next mission?
It depends because, we can't see pictures
They're not
or hear them talk or anything. So, I don't know what this motherfucker would believe. Apparently anything, to be honest with you.
It must be because I can't think of any situation where I've been tricked into a blowjob twice and not knew what was going on.
Right.
So when you did it, you knew it was happening. You just kind of pretended.
And you kind of just went I don't know, until you got caught, right?
You yes and your way into.
I think if they knew about it, they would have in the end not. He wouldn't want to die because he was embarrassed about being gay. They could have been a couple. Once he
right,
or at least he should have tried to confess, or be like, "Hey, dude, it was me. Want to fuck?" And he's like, "No, dude,
not it."
But you already did it twice.
Yeah, he's like,
one more for the road.
You want to, I can do it to you if you want, or you can fuck my butt, something like that. I don't know.
I have no idea what's going on with this case overall. Anyway, once a full story was revealed, both boys were charged with crimes, but considering their ages, the court showed leniency and put them on the British equivalent of probation. Mark was sentenced to 2 years of supervision, and John got 3. Information on their current whereabouts has been withheld due to them being minors at the time of the crime, but by all accounts, they are now living as free men in the UK.
In their 30s.
And I guarantee they're both hitting up the clubs together.
Are they still friends?
Apparently.
Probably met at least one of them at electric church.
Both John and Mark are now in their mid-30s and are believed to have never had contact again after their court date.
He didn't know. Then he didn't know for sure.
They're believed to have not.
Mark didn't know.
From a couple, yeah. And they did still have a little bit of a trial. I think it was just with a judge, though. Mm-hmm. And apparently, from what they said, they were credible enough that the judge was just like, okay, dude, I don't know what to do with this. You know what I mean?
Make him a spy is what they should do.
Because the crime is somebody.
He's willing to do anything for his country.
The headline is the first person to be charged with inciting their own murder.
Yeah, that's
right?
gangster.
So conspiracy conspiracy to commit murder on yourself. So they just didn't really know what to do with it. And the person that was coerced to do it was very young, impressionable, and thought that they were doing
fully
something.
Believed it.
Yeah.
Fully believed. And so after talking to them, the judge must have believed that he just completely believed that.
Yeah.
Right?
Imagine that confession.
If you think he was like
I'm a spy.
16, you can't lie very well, right? So
Yeah.
the judge would have known if he was like kind of knew but didn't, right? Don't you think? I don't know.
Well, it's another one of those situations like the case we had last week.
Right.
It's also kind of reversed at the same time because it was the younger person taking advantage of the older person. But still, at that age, you're going to be very impressionable.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
if you have some 44-year-old like international female spy that's saying like, "Hey,"
And that's all the movies
do this
that
shit,
you're
I'm
watching
gonna
and
bang you.
all the things that you're doing online. You know what I mean? Like you go in your undeveloped brain, you're like, this could be real.
yeah, to a certain degree, but also at the same time, I still think that like literally anybody, the actual president of the United States could come to me and say, "Hey, the entire world is going to be destroyed unless you do this. What
Unless
I
you
need you
suck
to
my
do,
dick."
Unless you suck this guy's dick.
I need you to go and suck Joel's dick,
Right.
and convince the world that Joel's gay." And be like,
You would be snapped out of it. Or would you do it?
"No, right?" I'd be
Well,
like, "Dude,
not
I've
Joel,
already
but-
done it a shitload
Yeah,
of times.
yeah,
What?
I'm not
I
Joel.
need to do it again
Not Joel.
all of a sudden?"
Let's think about,
No, but I mean, realistically, I can't imagine any kid that is so fucking naive that they could be coerced into sucking their friend's dick twice and think that it's for like national security.
Manchester is not London. Can I tell you that?
Yeah.
Manchester is a rural, small town part. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
There's like lots of fields and sheep, and you know what I'm saying? Like this is
And
not.
it's in England.
Yeah, but that could very easily happen here too. At that time,
What year
Right?
is it again?
Huh?
2003.
2003.
could very easily happen with 16-year-olds out here at that time.
Probably did happen.
Probably did.
Fuck, I missed my heyday then. Damn it.
Yeah.
Dude, I wish we could get Mark's number. We could just send him a text right now. It's like, "Hey, it's Janet.
Mission's back on.
Yeah, mission's back on.
You
You made
played-
it. You passed the test."
You played the long game and you passed the test.
now.
Oh, like we don't know. We
can-
don't know what his, mental capacity is. You know what I'm saying? We don't have a picture. We've never heard him talk.
I can guarantee you that his phone number is written on a handful of bathroom stalls over in the UK. Though.
Yeah, you got a taste for it. Thank you, Janet.
That's crazy. That poor kid, dude. If you didn't know, I feel bad for him.
But like we were saying
Like,
before,
imagine finding out that
No, I
that's
know.
what happened.
if you totally believed it,
Yeah.
what a fucking letdown when you're waiting out there for an hour and a half for Janet to show up. Do you know what I'm saying? That's what I think
after
about.
you just stabbed your
What
friend
I think about is
twice
that he's fully
and sucked his
into
dick
it.
twice.
What I like to believe is that he was fully into it and had the time of his life.
He did.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
And then it.
not the dick sucking maybe, but like he was like, dude, he is having dinner with his family and he's got a fucking secret. Like he is, right?
Those days were
His
fun.
confidence is through the roof. He's
Every
a
time
new
the
man.
national anthem plays, he stands up a little
Oh,
bit
he's
taller.
just like, they're like, what is up with Mark, dude?
It's fucking
And he's just like, every day is an amazing, fun challenge.
so excited to get back to that
So
chat.
exciting. And then for that letdown of real life, Mark, which is, what we all have around that 16, 17, right?
Deal with some consequences.
Deal with some consequences.
What a
The
lesson.
aftermath of your previous actions.
Right. What would you do for a country, though?
I mean, there's one thing
Now-
that I can think of, like the ultimate sacrifice.
The ultimate sacrifice.
Ultimate sacrifice for a country. Some people will jump on the president when they're getting shot at.
Yep.
Other people do more.
So if you were asked,
To go the extra mile,
go the extra mile
really put in the effort.
and prolapse for your country,
There it is.
would you do it? Patriot or not?
Yes.
Yes? God bless America. We all
Prolapse for America, 2024.
Love you guys.
Okay, bye.
Bye.